Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is November 19th, 2025, and Barcelona have announced, or unveiled, I should say, a fourth kit. Also, UEFA have given the green light for the Champions League return to the Spotify Camp Nou. And finally, reports stating that Robert Lewandowski was told to stop scoring goals. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Moo, and I know today was podcast day, but unfortunately, I have a flight to catch. Well, it's actually fortunate because I am going on vacation, but I have a flight to catch at 6 in the morning, so I've been running around, finishing errands, trying to pack, dropping my dog off, so I wasn't able to do the podcast. So instead, I'm going to do 2 short lives to keep you up to date on all Barcelona news, and of course, as always, when I travel, I'm going to take my laptop, my camera, and I'm going to continue doing daily videos so you can stay up to date on our beloved club. Having said all that, let's dive right into the news because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona have several nominees for the Globe Soccer Awards. Now, if you don't know what the Globe Soccer Awards are, it's pretty much a consolation prize that was made up for Penaldo. You know, this was done in conjunction between Jorge Mendes, who is Penaldo's agent, and of course, the Arab world, because, well, Penaldo, he is a forever silver medalist, right? He's always going to be in the shadow of Messi. I mean, even till today, he's in Camel League, Messi's in the MLS, and he still, is haunted by Messi. So they decided, you know what? Every time Penaldo and Messi go at it head-to-head in any competition, Messi wins. So we're going to invent one just for Penaldo so he can say, hey, I won in this competition. So this is pretty much what the Globe Soccer Award. It's a garbage award. Again, consolation prize for the forever silver medalist, Penaldo. Now, Barcelona have several nominees for these garbage awards, and let's look at all the nominees that have been chosen for the Globe Soccer Award. First, we have the best men's player, and here we see 4 Barcelona nominees. There's Robert Lewandowski, Pedri, Coutinho, and also Lamine Yamal. And of course, a lot of PSG players, given that they won the treble. We see, here, Dembele, Donnarumma, Doué, Hakimi, Kvaratskhelia, Nuno Mendes, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz. We see Erling Haaland. We see Vinicius, Isaac. Anyway, the list is pretty long. I'm not going to go over every player. Now, let's look another category because we also have Best Sporting Director. And amongst them is Deco. Now, that's how you know these awards are not serious. If Deco is nominated for best sporting director, these awards already lost their legitimacy. I'm sorry, but are you serious? Anyways, let's keep scrolling down. Here we have best Asian. Obviously, none of these are Barcelona, but we see Jorge Mendes, the guy who helped establish this consolation award for Penaldo, has nominated himself. Very, very, very trustworthy awards, obviously. Emerging players. We have Pau Cubarsí, alongside Doué, Ben Saghir, João Neves, Arda Güler, Dean Huijsen, Zaire Emery. Now let's see, the list continues. Then we have best forward. Here we have Robert Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal, and Coutinho, all nominated for the best forward. We keep scrolling down. We have the best midfielder. We have Fermín López and Pedri, both nominated for best midfielder. We scroll a little bit more down. Here we have best coach, and of course, Hansi Flick is amongst the nominees. There's also Xabi Alonso, Mikel Arteta, Antonio Conte, Luis Enrique, Robert Martinez, Eddie Howe, Vincent Kompany, Arne Slot. List continues. Best women's club, Barcelona is nominated alongside Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Juventus, Olympique de Lyonnais, and Orlando Pride. What? Again. Well, I guess they're okay. Best men's club, of course, Barcelona here nominated alongside Al Ahly and Crystal Palace and PSV and Pyramids FC. Again, these awards are speaking for themselves. Anyways, best women's players. Here we have, of course, Aitana Bonmatí, Patrick Guijarro, we have Caroline Graham Hansen, Eva Payor, Alexia Putellas, and Claudia Pina. And then if we scroll a little bit more, I think that's about it. Yes, that's all the nominees. So Barcelona heavily represented in this garbage consolation award, again invented just to console the very extremely fragile ego of Penaldo and his fans, of course, because his fans, well, they don't fall that far behind. Remember, they used to tell us whoever has the most Ballon d'Ors is the best in the world, and then Messi wins the most Ballon d'Ors. Okay, well, the Ballon d'Ors are rigged, so it's the most golden boots because that's goals, right? There's no voting on it. Well, Messi wins the most golden boots. They're like, okay, well, it's whoever has an international trophy. Okay, Messi wins the Copa America. Okay, no. Copa America's garbage. It's whoever wins the World Cup. All right, Messi wins the World Cup. No, the World Cup is rigged. And it's just a cycle of crying and more crying and more crying. And it's like the Penaldo fans are pretty much keeping the hydration industry alive. Gatorade, Powerade, all these hydrations. They're keeping them alive because they shed so many tears. They have to constantly rehydrate their bodies. Otherwise, they risk dying from dehydration. But anyways, cry on, Penaldo fans. You will forever be in second place. So just get used to it. Accept it. Why are you fighting it? I mean, second place is not bad, right? You could be last. Anyways, let's move on to the next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, the club have unveiled a fourth kit. And this is a kit I told you about back in the summer. I told you that Barcelona were planning kind of like this special edition kit that commemorated the November 2005 El Clásico match at the Santiago Bernabeu, where Barcelona won 3-0 with 2 goals of Ronaldinho and 1 of Eto'o. You might recall this match because this is when Ronaldinho got a standing ovation at the Bernabeu. I mean, never seen before, never seen since. And well, lo and behold, today Barcelona unveiled this kit. It is to commemorate that match. In fact, they have the inside the neck and the back, they have the minutes where each goal was scored. And pretty much this is what the kit looks like, which was, of course, the unveiling was accompanied by the following statement. FC Barcelona will have a fourth kit this season that honors history and art. The club has unveiled its new official strip that heralds one of the most memorable masterpieces of contemporary Barca legacy, the 3-0 win at the Bernabeu on November 19, 2005. So they are unveiling it on the anniversary of that match, the 20th anniversary of that match. And then it continues on to explain why does the shirt look like this? Why are the lines like this? And it says the new shirt features the Barca stripes in a vertical but seemingly unstructured manner, and that is not a gratuitous detail. The lines are inspired by the trajectory of the ball towards each of the 3 goals scored that night. The first by Eto'o and the next 2 the work of Ronaldinho. Inside the collar, 3 circles highlight the minutes in which these goals were scored, the 14th, 58th, and 77th minute. And on the outside, the Catalan flag completes the design. The shorts are maroon with a blue stripe on the side of each leg. And I actually like this. I was surprised when I first saw it. The first it was leaked in the summer. I was like, I don't know, this kind of looks stupid. The lines, it looks like a little kid draw them. But then when you realize the concept behind it, the whole campaign is called Football is Art. So this is why they did it like this. This is more of an artistic expression of what the Blaugrana stripes look like. So it's more like, I guess if you want to label it, it's more like abstract art, right? So now it makes a lot more sense. Once you put it once you add what's called the context behind it, it makes sense. And I actually like it. I like it a lot. It grew on me. Again, the first time I saw it, I was like, this is kind of weak. But now that I understand the context behind it, I definitely like it. And maybe I'll get one, or maybe I'll do a raffle. You guys want me to raffle this fourth kit? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, on to more good news because, ladies and gentlemen, UEFA have given the green light for Barcelona to start hosting the Champions League during the group stages, which means that the next Champions League match against Eintracht Frankfurt will be played at the Camp Nou. Now, as you know, Barcelona will return to the Camp Nou on November 22nd against Athletic Club de Bilbao. And of course, we were still awaiting UEFA's decision because, as you know, there is a UEFA rule that says whatever stadium you start at during the group stages, you have to complete the group stages at that stadium, and you cannot change stadiums until the knockout stages. Well, of course, Jean Laporta had been meeting with Seferin. There's improved relationships now. In fact, Pini Zahavi, the agent of Lewandowski, kind of was acted as an intermediary where he helped Laporta rebuild the relationship with UEFA. And after several talks, meetings, etc., UEFA eventually agreed that yes, they would allow Barcelona to return to the Camp Nou halfway through the group stages because, of course, this is what's called force majeure, right? Barcelona was not able to start the season at the Camp Nou because of circumstances out of their hands, which is the stadium was not completed. And now that it is, UEFA will allow them to go back. And this is, of course, great news because it means we'll be playing all competitions at our fortress, at our home stadium, the Spotify Camp Nou. Now, more good news because, ladies and gentlemen, guess who joined the training today? It was no other than Lamine Yamal. Now, as you know, as soon as the FIFA international break was about to begin, since the players were gonna have 2 weeks off, Barcelona decided that they were gonna perform a procedure, a radio frequency procedure on Lamine Yamal to help him with that pubalgia to kind of lower the discomfort levels that he was feeling. So this, of course, meant that Lamine Yamal would have to rest from this procedure and not train. Well, today, Lamine Yamal was back on the pitch training with the team. They're saying that they're not going to push him into demanding sessions. They're slowly and gradually going to adapt him to the group dynamic. And depending on how he evolves, we'll see whether he'll be able to play against Athletic Club de Bilbao. Now, they're saying so far the sensations are positive, and we might see Lamine Yamal against Athletic Club. But again, the next few days will be crucial and will be key to see whether Lamine will be able to play against the Basque club. Now, this, of course, this is added to the other great news that I told you about, that Joan Garcia is expected to start against Athletic Club Bilbao. Coutinho is expected to come back, most likely, and very highly unlikely that he's going to start, of course, but I'm sure we'll see him get some minutes. The only one who's not going to make the cut is Pedri. Pedri is recovering a lot faster than initially anticipated, but the club don't want to run any risks with Pedri, so Pedri will not be playing a single minute. He's going to be completely excluded from the squad list against Athletic Club de Bilbao. Now, let's end today's video with a news that comes from Poland, from a reporter whose name is Sebastian Staszewski, because he has written a biography about Lewandowski in which he claims that during Lewy's first season at Barcelona, one of the board members approached him and said, "Lewy, stop scoring goals." Now, why is that? Because at the time, well, not at the time, I think still is, but Lewandowski has a clause in his contract where for every season he scores 25 goals or more, Barcelona have to pay Bayern Munich 2.5 million euro bonus. So Lewandowski was nearing that 25 mark, and supposedly someone from the board told Lewy stop scoring. In that season, he ended up with 23 goals, so 2 goals under the mark required to pay that bonus. And that was the same season, of course, that he won the Pichichi, beating Karim Benzema. I honestly don't believe the story. I call bullshit on it because I can't just see Barcelona legitimately asking a guy, Lewandowski, who they just spent 60 million euros on him, 60 million that we didn't have, that we had to sell assets in order to generate, so then he can come to the club and we can tell him, stop scoring. That just, to me, sounds stupid. Plus, I don't think Lewy would ever listen to that kind of instruction. I mean, anyone who would think that a professional athlete would actually agree to score less has never competed in sports, period. Because, I mean, that would be an insult to any athlete to tell him, hey, perform under, below your level on purpose. Anyways, that's the story. I decided to bring it to you. I ended the video with it because I thought it was, pretty ridiculous. Nonetheless, that is all for this video. Again, I'm going to go live in a few more minutes because I do have more news to share with you. And then I'm off to pack because I got to be up in 4 hours. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, Bis Barça.